Yo guys, what's up? So, as I promised, if I got 50 likes, I said I was gonna do the 200 days. I got 400 likes, and I almost have 8,000 views on the video. I really do appreciate your guys' support. Each and every one of you, all the people that commented, and all of you guys that were asking for the 200 days, here it is, and let me say this now. I can't just get this video out instantly. I have to, go through 30 hours of gameplay just for 100 days. And on top of that, I have to edit all of this. So, I can't just get it out like the next day. That's just not how that works. I don't have enough time. There's only 24 hours in the day. And I can only do this. Yeah, it takes like 30 hours to do this. So, I can't do that. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could get this video out as soon as I could. But I can't. But yeah, I'm bringing you guys the 200 days, and let's just move on to day 101. So after killing the Ender Dragon on day one, wait, what day was it? I believe it was like day 98 or 99 or something like that. But after that, I had 68 levels, and my netherite armor was very low. And I want to say something, because a lot of you actually, or not a lot of you, but a few of you actually said, why didn't you get mending? And let me explain that right now. So, the reason I didn't get mending was because I forgot you could trade to get emeralds from villagers, because I only thought you could find them and mine for them. I completely forgot you could trade for emeralds. So, that is literally the entire reason why I didn't get mending. I believe I have villagers at this point. I don't remember what day, but I do have villagers right now. Yeah, that's the reason I didn't get mending. I'm sorry that I didn't get mending. That might have triggered some of you guys, but yeah, that's the reason why. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm really stupid. But yeah, let's just move on to day 102. So for day 102, I wanted to get an elytra. I did not have an elytra yet, and I really wanted one. And I started to go there for this day. It takes me about half of a day to get to the stronghold because of how far it actually is. And I get to the end cities, or not the end cities, but like I go to the island, and I almost die. I go down to like 2.5 hearts or 3 hearts from the Enderman. I was terrified. I know I had my totem, but that probably wouldn't have really helped me that much, since it only regains your health quick. It doesn't give you instant health, or I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you instant health. But yeah, I actually ended up finding an end ship really quickly this day, and I was so happy I found an elytra already. I thought it was gonna take me a lot longer, but it didn't take me that long. And that's pretty much all I did for this day, so let's move on to day 103. Day 103, I was getting back home, because I got my elytra, and that's all I needed. I didn't need anything else. I didn't really care about the diamond stuff you can get. I really didn't care at the moment, because all I was focusing on was getting an elytra. I get back home, and I was trying to make my villagers into mending, and I got this villager right here. This one right here that just changed. Mending. 16 emeralds. It's so cheap. Like I don't know if you can get any cheaper than that. That's I didn't do anything else this day, not that I could think of. So let's just move on to day 104. So for day 104, I'm beginning this day off with changing my villagers, some of the villagers, and I don't remember why I was doing this. I might have been trying to get an Unbreaking book, but I don't remember what book I was trying to get, and I ended up giving up. Like I said, I don't remember what I was trying to do. And for the entire day, for the rest of the day, I was spending all of this time getting materials for a slime farm. And the reason I'm making a slime farm is just because why not? And I believe other farms that I'm going to make eventually, some of the farms I made in this 100 days, we'll get onto those eventually. And other farms I want to make, they involve slime, like slime balls and stuff to make like sticky pistons. And that's the reason why, and this slime farm really took me a long time. So let's move on to day 105. So for these next few days, I'm sorry I have to say this, but I was trying so hard to find out where a slime chunk was. Because if you guys didn't know how to make a slime farm, you need a slime chunk. In order to find a slime chunk, you need to figure out where slime spawns. So I had to build a bunch of hallways everywhere in all of the different chunks to figure out where a slime's gonna spawn. So let's just move on to day 106. So as I said, the next few days are gonna be me just mining, and on day 106 I found some diamonds, and I know this might make some of you mad, but I didn't mine them. I just left them there. I didn't care about them. I'm just AFKing right here just so you guys can, get a look at those diamonds that I'm not going to mine. So let's just move on to day 107. Day 107, I am still mining, and I found some more diamonds. And do you know what I did? Didn't mine them. I'm sorry, guys, but later on I do end up mining them. It's just, at this moment, I just wanted to kind of look at the ores, I didn't want to mine them because it actually looked really cool just seeing all the ores on the wall. And, I'm sorry if this makes you mad that I didn't mine them. I'm sorry, but I did end up mining them later on. So hopefully that makes you guys happy. So let's move on to day 108. So on day 108, I'm still mining. This shouldn't really be a surprise to anybody. And I didn't find anything this day. I didn't find any, diamonds that I wasn't going to mine anymore. So let's just move on to day 109. So on day 109, while mining, I found 2 veins of diamonds. And, guys, you know what I did? I mined those diamonds because they were in my way. Some of those diamonds, I believe, like 2 or like 3 of the diamonds I didn't mine because they were on the ground, inside the ground, and I didn't care about them. They weren't in my way, so I didn't care about mining them. So let's move on to day 110. So just before I talk about day 110, I just want to say something. While watching this over, like the gameplay and stuff, I just want to make sure that for you guys it isn't lagging, because for me it's lagging. I don't know, so if it's laggy for you guys, I'm really sorry. I apologize about this. I don't know what's happening, but right now it's fine. Like sometimes when I'm rewatching it, it gets really laggy. I don't know why, but I hope it isn't that laggy for you. So let's just move on to actually saying what happens in this day. So on day 110, you know those diamonds I found? Yeah, those diamonds right there that I'm mining. I got them with my Silk Touch pickaxe. Let's go, guys. Right? Yeah, I know. And then I ended up finding more diamonds after that. It was only 2 diamonds. And I don't know how, but I found a 3rd vein of diamonds. And that 3rd vein had, I think, 7. I'm pretty. No, not 7. I think it was like 6 or 5. I don't know. I can't really count. So let's move on to day 111. On day 111, when I say this, you guys please don't be mad at me if you know what I'm talking about. But I had to use a slime chunk finder on the internet. I know it's kind of like cheating in a way, but the only reason I did this, I was actually going to keep trying to continue finding the slime chunk myself, but I didn't want to waste all the days away just trying to find this slime chunk. I really wanted to get some kind of content on this. I didn't want to just have me mining the whole time. No, that's really boring. So I looked up where the slime chunk was. I'm sorry if that makes you guys think that I'm cheating. I'm really sorry. I'm not cheating, to get an advantage. I'm cheating just so I don't make this, super boring for you guys to watch, and really trying to get progress done. And towards the beginning of this day, I start mining out the first layer of the slime farms. Let's move on to day 112. So on day 112, I'm mining around the area of where the slime chunk is, and the reason I'm doing this is, even knowing that I know that this is a slime chunk, I wanted to make sure that it was. So I basically mined out the chunk next to it just to make sure. And it turns out that this was the right chunk. I was at the right chunk. So let's move on to day 113. So on day 113, I found this absolute unit of a slime. Look at my man, but he's so big. So I basically just killed him. Got all the slime balls I needed. And I think at this point, I knew that this was the slime chunk, but I was still kind of, nervous about it to know if it was or not. I don't know what the right word is. So I basically cut a line, I put walls down to make sure that it was a slime chunk. I know it's just kind of getting annoying at this point. But yeah, I did end up, I believe, starting to make the farm on day 114. So let's move on to day 114. So day 114, I saw this was a slime chunk. I confirmed it. The slime was there in that chunk. And I started to begin mining. And I thought that this was going to be easy. And it is easy, but I thought wrong. Because you have to mine out 8 layers. And you have, I believe it's you have to mine out 8 layers of chunks. So that is 16 by 16. I'm pretty sure that's how big a chunk is. And so let's just say around in total, I have to mine. I did the math on my phone. I might be completely wrong about this, but I think I had to mine over 6,000 blocks. And my God, did it take forever. But I thought it was going to take a lot longer. It took probably like 2 or 3 days, maybe even 4 days. I'm not sure quite yet. I got to go over the footage still. But it didn't take as long as I thought, so let's just move on to day 115. So for the next 3 days, like days 115, 116, and 117, I spent all 3 of these days mining. So yeah, I was right about 3 to 4 days, because it roughly took me around 4 days to actually mine all of these layers. It might not sound that bad to you guys to actually, make the slime farm, but if you guys did this yourself, mining 6,000 blocks, if I'm correct about that, is a lot of work. Like, you guys probably, maybe some of you understand this, but a lot of you probably watched my 100 days video and, probably didn't realize how much time and effort it actually takes to do this stuff. Like, all this farm stuff, like, I could literally be doing something else with my day. But you know what I'm doing? I'm playing Minecraft for you guys just so you could watch my content, Like, I'm really trying to stay committed to YouTube. So, I don't know why I'm going on a rant about this. I don't know why I'm talking about this. But, let's just move on to day 116. I'm sorry, day 118. God, I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, sorry, guys. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Alright, guys, we're on day 118. I don't know what I was talking about on the previous days. I'm actually really tired right now. I'm currently making this video at 2:30 a.m. editing this, and it's just, I'm so tired. And I'm gonna let this day kind of explain itself. I'll stop talking and you guys can watch this right here. Yeah, so I almost died. It was very scary. I did have my totem, but still, going down to 1.5 hearts is not fun. But towards the end of this day, I was actually starting to make like the part where all of the slime balls and stuff go, where slimes die. So let's just move on to day 119. So on day 119, I am getting very close to finishing this. I would have actually finished it earlier, or like during this day, but I misplaced the magma blocks. I am very stupid. And I'm going to talk about something real quick. I know this is off topic, but I have seen comments about this, and can you guys please stop roasting me about my netherite armor? Please stop doing that. I know that when you guys are watching this, you guys probably have already seen that I got mending and probably happy for me now that you don't have to watch me freaking repair it and stuff like that. But please stop freaking roasting me about it. It's getting like I know my mistake. Please, it was my bad for not remembering you could trade with villagers to get emeralds. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So let's move on to day 120. So on day 120, I fixed my slime farm. I finished it. Didn't have to worry about it anymore. And for the rest of the day, I don't know what I was doing. I'm kind of stupid when it comes to thinking about things. I can't even think straight right now. I just can't even English right now. I'm stuttering so hard. But basically, for the rest of the day, since it was raining, I couldn't tell if it was day or nighttime. So I was constantly trying to see if it was nighttime, and basically I was just running around, kind of just getting wood, just doing the most random things to pass the time. I'm sorry that I don't know what I'm doing, so let's just move on to day 121. So guys, I am very sorry if this video is kind of retarded. I'm just very tired right now, so I apologize if it's getting very annoying that I don't know what I'm talking about. But on day 121, I start off the day with farming, and I end off the day in the Nether. I don't remember the reason why I was getting levels, but that's the reason why I was in there, was getting levels. And I don't remember why I was doing this. It might have been to enchant something. Obviously, to enchant something. I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's just move on to day 122. So on day 122, I spend this whole day in the Nether getting levels, and just still I don't know what I'm trying to enchant. I still don't know. And the reason it takes me all day to actually get level like 30 is because I was having a really hard time finding quartz, and I actually go to level 31 just cause. So let's just move on to day 123. So it turns out I was trying to get level 33, and I found out the reason why. I really need to look at the footage before I actually say anything, because I sound kind of stupid. But it was to get a better sword. I enchanted 2 swords to try to get like a really good sword, but I only got Fire Aspect 2, which was, I mean, you know, I'm not complaining. I wanted to get Fire Aspect so I can get cooked food and I kill animals. So that's pretty much all I did for this day. There wasn't anything else. Let's move on to day 124. So on day 124, after I got my Fire Aspect 2 sword, I went to go kill as many animals as I could, because I wanted to get as much food as I could. I didn't have a whole lot of food at this time. I believe I didn't. So it was really good that I was getting all of this food. There wasn't anything else. As I said, this is the only thing I did this day, so let's move on to day 125. So on day 125, I'm still killing a bunch of animals, but I'm also exploring, and I think I'm trying to find a pillager outpost, because I was eventually going to make a raid farm in this 100 days. I didn't really have any luck this day to finding one, so let's just move on to day 126. So I spent all of day 126 also exploring, and I didn't find a single outpost. It was really unfortunate. I'm sorry that this is kind of, you know, wasting time. You know, I could have done something else interesting, but I'm really trying to find an outpost to make a raid farm. So let's move on to day 127. Day 127, I also spent this day looking for an outpost, and you know what happened? Didn't find one, which really sucks. So let's move on to day 128. Day 128, I found a temple, and this temple didn't have really anything. It really was unfortunate. The only thing it had that I cared about was TNT. So I got the TNT, and I just left the temple and kept exploring, but I still didn't find an outpost yet, so we went on day 129. So day 129, I still didn't find an outpost, but while I was actually, you know, in the water, I looked to the right of me, and I see an ocean monument. And obviously I didn't go to it because my armor was not good. I didn't feel safe. I didn't have anything to make me ready for it. So that's pretty much all I did for this day. You know, I was still exploring. I found that ocean monument, which is pretty nice, but that's all I really found. Didn't find anything else, so let's just move on to day 130. I really don't know why I sounded so sad on day 129, but I did. Anyway, on day 130, I was looting this temple that I found. It gave me a Protection 3 book, an Infinity book, and a lot of gunpowder, and of course, more TNT. So this temple actually, you know, helped me out a lot. I was really happy with this temple. And then, at the end of the day, almost when the day was over, there it was, the outpost I was looking for. I was so relieved when I saw it. I was so happy. I just didn't believe it. I found one. I know it's not really that much of a big deal, but, you know, it took me like 3-4 days to find this. So it made me really happy. So let's just move on to day 131. So on day 131, I was trying to get a curse on me so I can go back home and, you know, get really cheap mending books. And I was going to use the nether to, you know, get back home. It would be a lot less time, and I just didn't want to travel, like, really far. And when I went in the nether, I was next to a bastion fortress. And I just, through these days, like, the first 100 days was, like, you know, quite easy. I didn't really have much, you know, problem. And then through these next 100 days, I almost died like 4 times. Like, you know, I almost died from a creeper. Got down to 1.5 hearts from that. And then right here in the nether, I went down to like 3.5 hearts from those piglins, the ones with the axes, which, you know, was terrifying. So there wasn't anything else I did. I didn't actually end up using the nether because I would have to go across a entire ocean. I don't know. Just a lot of lava. All right, yeah. So let's move on to day 132. Day 132, I was trying to get back home, and I accidentally caused the raid to be at this village. I was so just upset about it, and it wasn't really going that well either. Like, they brought me down a lot. Like, they just kept draining my health, and it was very, very, annoying. And I actually ended up leaving this village. I didn't want to finish the raid because it was so hard. I just couldn't do it. So let's just move on to day 133. So as I said, I was going to leave the raid, and I really didn't want to do it anymore because I didn't want to take the chance of, draining my armor, and because I believe my armor was actually, really low, so I didn't want to chance it. And I got back home, just, put all my stuff away. I made more rockets for my elytra, and that's pretty much all I did. Didn't do anything else. Took me pretty much the rest of the day to actually get back home. So let's just move on to day 134. Day 134, I needed to repair my armor. It was almost all of it was broken, pretty much, from that raid that I left. And I bought a mending book from my mending villager for really, really cheap. Well, not really cheap. It was 16 emeralds, which is, still cheap. Put it on my elytra. And then at the end of that, I went back to the pillage outpost. Luckily, I made a portal, and I knew exactly where it was. So I flew through the nether to get to the portal. I got my the curse on me, and I was doing the raid for pretty much the rest of the day, and the raid was really, really easy, and the reason why was because they never attacked me. They didn't care about me. They just ran around. I think it was because they weren't able to get to the villagers, so they didn't know really what to do. So yeah, it was going really well. So let's move on to day 135. Day 135, I pretty much spent this whole day doing the raid. And I actually got very low right here. I think I went down to like 2.5 hearts. It was scary. Very, very scary. But I didn't die, so we're good. We're good. But the reason why it took so long for me to do this raid was because sometimes the pillagers, I couldn't find them. They were like underground sometimes. It was really annoying. But yeah, let's just move on to day 136. Day 136, I finished the raid. It was really, really nice that I finished it. Finally didn't have to deal with all the pillagers. And I went down to check the mending book, and it was 11 emeralds. I was hoping it would be cheaper than that, but I'm fine. It's still cheaper, which is really nice. And I ended up buying 3 mending books, so let's just move on to day 137. So on day 137, I got farmers, so I was actually able to trade my carrots for emeralds. And after that, I put mending on my chestplate and my leggings, so you guys wouldn't have to be triggered at me having to repair my armor all the time with netherite ingots, because it was wasteful. And towards the end of that day, I just got wood. So let's move on to day 139. So I pretty much spent all day of 138 actually farming. Because it takes me like 3/4 of the day to actually farm all my crops because I have so many of them. And for the rest of that time I pretty much just bred the animals and got more wood. So let's just move on to day 139. On day 139, I spent this entire day in the nether trying to strip mine because I was going to make my diamond armor that I had into netherite armor. So let's just move on to day 140. On day 140, I'm still strip mining. And I actually don't know how many scraps I had at the end of this day. I'm pretty sure that I had enough for what I needed for, so let's just move on to day 141. On day 141, I got back, and I had 12 scraps, which was enough for what I was going to do. And my old netherite boots that were really low, I put mending on those. So now I actually, could repair them with XP. And I don't know why I did this, but my other boots and helmet, I turned them into netherite too. I don't know why I did that, but let's just move on to day 142. So on day 142, I spent this day basically getting levels in the nether. And I know I keep doing this, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get my armor really good. And I am trying to get level 33 so I could put mending on my really, really good netherite helmet I have. So let's just move on to day 143. So it turns out I wasn't getting levels for my netherite helmet, but I believe eventually I was. So I made a really good sword, sharpness 5 on breaking 3, knockback 2, and fire aspect 2. Which is what I want. But I still need to get looting 3 on it. I didn't have looting 3 quite yet. But I also put mending on my pickaxe, so I didn't have to worry about it breaking. And I spent the rest of the day in the nether getting levels. So let's move on to day 144. Day 144, I got 32 levels. So I basically went back home to put mending on my helmet. So I was really happy now. I didn't have to keep repairing my armor. As you guys, are still commenting as I edit this video about my armor and mending. And please stop doing that after you guys see this. It's really annoying. And I also, started mining at the end of that day. And I just do this to get resources. I didn't care about what I was getting. I just needed resources to make farms later on. So let's move on to day 145. On day 145, I was gathering materials to make an Enderman farm. And there wasn't really much else I did this day because I was kind of just running around, not really doing anything. I don't know why, but yeah, I was just gathering materials for an Enderman farm. So let's move on to day 146. On day 146, I was still gathering materials for an Enderman farm, and there was one thing I needed that I didn't have, and it took me days and days to find. It was a name tag. So let's just move on to day 147. I don't remember when I find this name tag, but I believe it does take me a while. So yeah, let's move on to day 147. So what I'm about to say is kind of going to make me sad, but it took me 10 days to get a name tag, and I'm so sorry that this happened, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I tried everything. I tried fishing. I tried trading with villagers. I even tried to use a sunken ship. I couldn't find a name tag anywhere. And then I was just like, wait, don't mine shafts have them? And I thought in my head, yeah, mine shafts almost guarantee them. So what I did is I basically was mining, and then I heard a lot of mobs, I started to mine up, and I found a mine shaft. I was so relieved to see a mine shaft. I was never been happier. And there it was. I opened the chest, and there it was, the name tag I needed, and I was just so happy. Like, I'm sorry that 10 days are wasted on this, but trust me, I didn't mean for this to happen. So let's move on to day 159. Yes, I'm very sorry you guys have to see this. It took me 10 days to get a name tag, and then while building the Enderman farm, I was recording the wrong monitor. So I didn't technically lose it, I just wasn't recording it. And I'm very sorry that this has to happen. I don't know what to do about I literally can't do anything about this. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Literally, all I did was build the Enderman farm. There wasn't anything else I did. So we can just move on to day 163, and I'm actually gonna show you guys the Enderman farm on day 163. So yeah, let's move on. I just want you guys to listen to how satisfying it is to kill so many Endermen. And also just listen to this XP as well. So yeah, I basically spend the rest of the day farming. I know you guys didn't get to see me build the Enderman farm. I'm sorry about that. It wasn't too interesting. Like, it's kind of boring, in my opinion, watching someone build a farm. So yeah, let's just move on to day 164. So on day 164, I was strip mining. This day, I was using my TNT that I got from all those temples, and I was kind of sad by the end of the day because I only got 8 debris. I mean, that's 2 ingots. That's still nice. Like, I wasn't really complaining. And before I move on to day 165, I want to put up on screen an arrow pointing at to what exactly is wrong with this gameplay. Yeah, there's a black bar across the screen on the top, and it's gonna be like that for the rest of this. I didn't have when I was recording, I didn't have my screen correct, so it was kind of screwed up. It isn't really too noticeable, so hopefully you guys don't really mind that, and let's move on to day 165. On day 165, I was trying to get looting 3 on my sword, and I got looting 3 on a diamond sword. I don't know why I did this. I am very dumb, because I didn't even end up using this at all, this sword. So what I end up doing is I actually kill a bunch of animals real quick just to get food, and I spend the rest of the day trying to get a looting 3 villager, and I didn't get any luck with that, so let's just move on to day 166. So I spent all of day 166 trying to get a looting 3 book, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't have any luck with this. It was really sad to not get a looting 3 book, so let's move on to day 167. Day 167, I got a looting 2 villager. I was fine with that. I didn't care if it was looting 1, looting 2, or looting 3. I just wanted a looting villager. And I finally made my my sword looting 3. So now I could actually, get stuff from mobs. And I believe I spent the majority of this day, trying to change another villager to get Unbreaking 3. Because I needed an Unbreaking 3 book for my Elytra because it breaks really fast. So let's just move on to day 168. So on day 168, I got an Unbreaking 3 villager, and I was so happy because I was finally able to make my Elytra Unbreaking 3, and I was able to explore for a while. And I'm mending on it, so I wasn't gonna break anytime soon. And I just put Unbreaking 3 in my Elytra. That was pretty much the end of the day. So let's move on to day 169. All right, guys, it was time for me to make a better house, so I'm gonna do a time lapse of that right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse. And on day 173, I actually got someone to tell me this, since I didn't know what to do with the pink wool. And someone in the comments, I'm not going to put up on screen who, but I'm just going to say someone did, said to put up a wall of my most valuable items. And I thought that was a great idea. And I don't have, like, good ideas to think of. So I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me do that. and I had a perfect spot for it. I had 12 item frames right there. It was perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So thank you for the person, if you're watching this, thank you so much for giving me that idea. So let's move on to day 174. Day 174, I'm back to doing this. Hopefully you guys like that. And for the rest of the day, I just wanted to get like just more things from like end cities. I didn't really care what I got. I actually ended up getting another light show, which is nice. So let's just move on to day 175. On day 175, you guys couldn't go wrong with more of this. I know it's getting annoying, I'm sorry, but like I wanted XP. And for the rest of the day, I actually was making another storage room right below mine. I made like a ladder down. And that's all I did for this day. There wasn't much else, so let's move on to day 176. On day 176, I was still trying to finish my storage room. I didn't actually end up finishing it because I didn't have enough wood for this. And I also replaced all my torches I had with glowstone because I thought it was going to look a lot better. And I spent the rest of the day getting wood. So let's move on to day 177. On day 177, I was finishing up my storage room, placing the chest down. And I had to go get more wood because I was going to put item frames in all of these chests. And as you guys probably know, you need sticks to make item frames. And I, put all the item frames in the chest and farmed for the rest of that day. So let's move on to day 178. On day 178, I was back to another fortress to try to get wither skeleton heads because I wanted to fight the wither. And then I just ended up leaving that fortress because I didn't want to, fight the wither within this 100 days. I probably want to do it in the next 100. So yeah, let's just move on to day 179. I spent all of day 179 getting materials for a raid farm. And I just want to say that I'm sorry if some of the days are short. I just don't do anything else in the days. It takes a long time for me to get all the materials I need because I have to run around. I have to watch a video about it. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. So let's move on to day 180. Day 180, I was starting to build like the very, very bottom of the raid farm, like where the villager is supposed to be. Because that's how like the raid farm like activates and stuff, because you need a villager. So let's just move on to day 181. So this day was very annoying because I spent all of this day like trying to get a villager there because I was using a boat. So it was just really complicated. I was going to use a nether, but it just didn't work. The nether portal didn't link up correctly. So let's just move on to day 182. So it takes me 3-ish days to actually get this raid farm done, considering how many materials you need, like what you need to build. Like it was just really confusing because I actually needed to go back and forth sometimes because I didn't have some materials that the video didn't list. And this raid farm was actually really, really good. I didn't expect it to be this good because originally when I first did the raid, it just didn't, like, I had to keep going back and forth to kill a captain for a curse, but it just kept giving me a curse every time I did the raid. So let's move on to day 185. So the raid farm was working very well, and then this happened. Yeah, that was very scary for me. I thought I was actually gonna die, but I didn't. So let's just move on to day 186. Day 186, I was just doing raids pretty much for the whole day, and when I look at the chest, I was not expecting that. Like, there is so many totems. Like, it was crazy. So let's move on to day 187. Day 187, I was just getting back from the raid, and I put away all my totems, and it looks so nice having all these totems in here. And then after that, I basically just bought a bunch of Unbreaking 3 books and Mending books from the villagers. That's all I did this day, so let's move on to day 188. So on day 188, I was spending this whole day making another layer of my sugarcane farm, and originally I actually messed up. So that's why it took me all day, because I had to remake the other layer. So let's just move on to day 189. Day 189, I was planting all my sugarcane, and for the rest of that day, I was kind of just running around, not really doing anything. I don't know why, but I placed beds for the villagers because I was actually going to end up, giving them more bread so they can make more villagers. So let's move on to day 190. On day 190, I was back to the end, and the reason I was back to the end was so I could get dragon heads because I wanted to put them in my house, and I also wanted to put one on an item frame. So let's move on to day 191. Day 191, I was back home, put a dragon head in my item frames, and I put 2 like right there at the entrance because I thought that was actually gonna look nice. It did look nice. I don't know if you guys like that, but I do. And for the rest of the day, I was extending the storage for the raid farm. So let's move on to day 192. I spent all of this day just doing raids, and I got so many totems and emeralds. Just like, look at this chest. Look at these chests right here. Like, so many totems. I got a good amount of gunpowder. I got well over a stack and a half of emeralds. It was just great. So let's move on to day 193. So on this day, I just added some armor stands next to my beds. Or, yeah, next to them, because I was going to put diamond armor and netherite armor on both of these. And I was able to put the diamond armor, but of course, you guys should probably know how long it's going to take to put this netherite armor there. So let's just move on to day 194. So on this day, I was just giving the villagers a bunch of bread so they could make more, villagers. So I could have, just more villagers doing more jobs. And for the rest of that day, I just farmed. And I want to say that I'm sorry about that raid at the top of the screen. I actually started a raid at my my house, and I just didn't care enough to finish it. So let's move on to day 195. So I just spent this day just getting as many resources as I could. I didn't really have a goal of what I wanted to get. I was just grabbing everything. So let's just move on to day 196. 196, all the ores I got with my Silk Touch, I just kept mining them all with my Fortune 3. There wasn't anything else to do this day, considering this took so long to mine all this stuff. So let's move on to day 197. So at the start of day 197, I farmed all my sugarcane because it all grew already. I had to kill this pillager because he was very, very annoying. And I basically went to go check my slime farm. And it turns out that I had a lot of slime balls, like so many. And for the rest of the day, I just started to organize my items. So let's move on to day 198. I spent all of day 198 just getting all of the wood I could. I know that I could have done something else, but I just wanted to get as much wood as I could just so I'd be prepared for the next 100 days for something. So let's move on to day 199. Alright, it was the day right before 200. I basically spent this day killing a bunch of endermen to get to level 50 because I just wanted to get to level 50. And at the end of the day, I was just organizing the chests at the raid farm. So let's move on to day 200. So it was day 200. I didn't really want to do anything this day, so I just basically spent this whole day fishing. And at the end of the day, I was just watching the sunset as day 200 was coming to an end.